Hey, how you doing? Uh, fighting for the right fighting for the right to film today. Got another court date. I was supposedly charged. I'm being charged with impeding on traffic, and that's why we have court today. Appreciate y'all for joining the room. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up and get it out there so people can see what's going on. Share the story. I don't have nothing in there. No. Last time I just put it up there. What's up, man? Found my veteran, though.
Okay. What's up, brother?
Doing all right. How about you?
Getting on the phone, man.
What happened?
They tried to shit coming in here, dude.
With the camera?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but you just walked through, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, I literally just came in here now.
So tell me what happened.
I just walked through here like this, dude. And they're like, oh, you can't do it. I was like, well, okay. So I put it up. I was like, got on the phone with Lieutenant Davis. And Lieutenant Davis is supposed to be on his way to come speak to me.
Really?
This is the same guy that detained me last time, Espinal.
All right, so Foulmouth has been detained for recording again. He's waiting to speak to Lieutenant Carlos Davis. Lieutenant Carlos,
Davis,
yeah.
It's supposedly Sergeant Wilcox said he's the one that's in charge of the building here at the Justice Center. But I heard that he was on vacation, so Lieutenant Kraft was assuming his position.
All right.
Either way, dude.
So he's gonna come down and have a talk with you.
He's supposed to come talk to me.
Oh, nice. All right.
Well, I'm here for you, brother.
All right, man.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, hopefully some good stuff comes out today,
You
man.
dress nice, bro. Suave.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs and check in and see what's going on, and I'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up there with you.
Are you gonna be filming them with the meeting or what?
Yeah, when Davis comes out.
All right. All right. Good deal. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, bro. Oh, you don't take the elevator?
No, walk up there. Well, there you go, folks. They've already stopped Fountainmouth veteran from filming when he came in the courtroom. I mean, the annex for the courthouse. So he's gonna have a little talk with Lieutenant Carlos Davis, and they're gonna discuss it. Because I mean, I've already had a sit down with him once before in one of my earlier videos that showed that it's completely illegal to film inside a public area. Hey, how you doing? Cajun, Mr. Bloody Wolf guy. How you doing? Well, I got a long line I gotta stand in. So they've already given an issue to Foulmouth for recording, but they didn't say nothing to me when I came in. They just let me come right up in. You know, like I said, folks, we're fighting for our rights to film, and they're slowly trying to take that away from us. Those are some lovely ladies from the last video that I made not too long ago. Make sure to go and check those other videos out. I started about 5 or 6 months ago, started recording, and one day I was recording the police, and they decided to charge me with impeding. So that's what I'm here for.
Man, you're standing too hard, dude.
Got a can back down there. Texas Bud, how you doing? What happened? Well, it's a long line of day. Well, like I said, folks, we're fighting for the freedom, for the right to film, First Amendment. And last time I came here, they canceled court, so we're trying to see what's going to happen this week, this time around. I'm here with Found Out Veteran. Make sure you guys like and share and subscribe over there. For those that are late tuning in, he was just now stopped at the very entrance of this courthouse, and they tried to stop him for filming. Didn't want him filming, but they had no issue with me coming in and filming, so that was kind of interesting. What's that?
I called the sheriff's department non-emergency line, and a female answered the phone, and she's new or whatever. She says that she just figured out that she can't make the call out to get him over here because he's at the jail. So she gave me a number, transferred me to a number. What's my little? What's he doing here?
I don't know. I'm sure he has court.
Yeah. He's anyway, what was that? So apparently she transferred me to the number that for them to pick up, and it just kept ringing.
So
And Stevenson down there, he's the NCO, 3 up and 3 down. He was the one in charge the day that we got detained. And he said per judge's order that he wanted us detained for the judge's order. I told him, you're not getting that.
well, they didn't say nothing to me.
I know. That's what I'm
It's interesting.
Yeah. I should have went live.
Hell yeah. He says I'm at the other end of the building if you're at the Justice Complex. Yeah, we're here. That's where we're at. Yeah, the judge's order is supposed to be in his room, nowhere else. Yeah, that's what I've been told. There goes the lawyer behind you.
What's on the start?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just basically trying to document the struggles of trying to record the police. It seems that they speak about transparency, but as soon as you try to record or show transparency, they have an issue. So that's the whole reason I'm documenting this. How you doing?
Are you videoing?
Yes, I am.
Why? Can I ask you?
Yeah, for First Amendment rights. So in public areas, you have the right to film. Mm-hmm. And we're being recorded by cameras around here. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason I'm doing it. Plus, I'm just making sure, documenting all my cases and making sure, because I'm going to court today, and I want to document everything and make sure everything's being filmed.
Well, let me tell you. I need your number.
You want my number?
I need your number.
What's that?
Therefore, you're going to find out, because I've been treated the same way. When I tell you stuff that has happened, that they're not filing and stuff like that, and then the judge kicked me out of the courtroom for no reason.
Really?
My last appearance. When I tell you, sir,
Oh, this
you
time.
don't even know how.
Oh, I know a little bit of the beginning. We started recording the police, trying to, make sure that we kept them accountable, and they charged us for that.
That's how mine ended up.
Crooked DAs in the county.
Yes, and let me tell you, that's how mine from the police in Killeen.
Judge
Also,
Blackburn,
I've even
another crooked judge.
I went to I have video.
Mm-hmm.
I have audio and everything of when I was wrongfully pulled over by Harker Heights police.
Okay.
I've also been actually physically removed for just sitting down
Mm-hmm.
in my court case. Okay, I'm physically removed. Okay, and then I went outside, and then an attorney that happened to be in the courtroom
Right.
came back and came outside and was talking to me and asked me what happened. He said, all I saw you do was sit down. I said, yes, that's what I did. I said, because I'm supposed to be in here. He said, I want you to get back up and walk back in the courtroom, and I'm coming to sit beside you. And I'm wanting for them to say something, because I'm going to let them know that I will file a federal lawsuit,
Right.
in Waco.
Right.
You have attorneys out here that are really willing to fight for people.
Right.
And you have those who are just letting people get away with it. Because myself and this lady here, we had an attorney that had been my attorney. I've been trying to get a trial for almost 3 years.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden we get this thing saying there's a motion to withdraw.
So they're gonna drop the charges then?
No.
No?
Well, I'm still going to court. So
Right.
I know my attorney. I'll meet with my attorney. But I asked for a speedy trial a long time ago.
Mm.
And then when I got with my attorney, this new attorney, how about the prosecutor in Killeen says I'm a menace because I'm standing up for what's right.
Right.
Standing up for my rights.
That's how they feel.
Anytime you exercise
Yep.
your God-given rights, that's uncooperative.
Yep, that's true. Yes, ma'am.
And they've considered me a menace.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start filming or standing up for anything. They try to want to quiet you and keep you down.
But the thing about it is, we were in the court on the motion to withdraw, and all of us had the same. We have the same arguments, and the same complaints, But I'm the only one that ended up putting it on the record because I was like, no, but I was the last one. The other people didn't know what their rights were.
Right.
So they kicked me out of the courtroom so that they wouldn't know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so then I was the last person. Thank God for that lady right there, because that lady waited in the courtroom for me, and witnessed it. And then the next day, the judge going to say that I disrupted his courtroom. How can you disrupt your courtroom when you raise your hand, you're acknowledged, and then you say something?
right.
What I said about grievance concerning the attorney, after I said that, and I said that others that were here that had the same grievance, he kicked me out of the courtroom.
Well, how dare you stand up for your rights as an American citizen? That's shameful.
Oh, but I'm the last
My
one.
brother's died defending these rights. How dare you stand up for your civil rights?
My dad did too.
Exactly.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have brothers, I have family members that are in law enforcement right now. But the thing is that, if you're going to enforce the law the right way. Because they need to be in jail for violating the law.
Yes, ma'am.
themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they got us here, and I only went to jail for loud noise. Who goes to jail for loud noise? That's not an arrestable offense.
No.
Because I had to tell the police what the law was, and so they got mad with me. They threatened bodily harm to me, and then not only that, I sit there and my first attorney that they had given me, Jeffrey Scott, he says, "Have you learned your lesson for telling the police what the law is?" And then
That's
I
messed up.
immediately that was the first thing he said to me.
Right.
I immediately got rid of him, and then ended up with Benjamin Martinez, who now is a pastor. He went to be a priest. He went to be a pastor.
Wow.
See? I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, everybody that was in the courtroom when we did the motion to withdraw, everybody said the same exact thing. You know what? It doesn't matter whether he's court appointed or whether he's a paid attorney. He is still supposed to do the same thing. And
Yep.
he is not supposed to violate the rights.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm one of the ones, I'm gonna stand up for my rights. I don't care if nobody else stand up for me.
Right.
But I'm gonna stand up for mine.
And I thank you for doing that, because a lot of people don't want to stand up, nor do they know the knowledge that, about having freedoms and
that's
rights.
the thing about it is, and that's why God has been impressing on my heart to teach the people even how to be jurors. Because a lot of people, when you go to be a juror, you don't know how to be a juror. I had a case in Williamson County where the prosecutor and even my defense attorney took 20 minutes off of a tape that the jury never got to see, which was exculpatory evidence. And I'm like, wait a minute, if they got a tape, that ain't all of the tape. You see what I'm saying? And sure enough, they did everything they could to railroad me. But my thing is that you can't, a lot of jurors don't know, because I asked my jurors, I said, if you do not know who's telling the truth, whether I'm telling the truth or the prosecutor's telling the truth, will you look up, because they have the law book right there, will you look it up to see They never looked it up. And guess who was telling the truth?
And you were.
I were.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So a juror has to know how important it is
Mm-hmm.
that when you're a juror, that, you know, these people's lives are at stake.
Exactly.
So you have to make
Exactly.
sure that you do due diligence.
Exactly.
For standing up as which is your duty.
Yes, ma'am.
That's me. Gotta go.
All right. Well, thank you for getting to talk to you. Before you leave, I'll let you know where to find me on YouTube, and you can hit me up on Joey Smiles.
Give it to my.
Okay.
Give it to my-
All right.
Yes. Come on.
Try to get a little intimidated. I guess he's on
Turn your phone. And turn your phone.
All right. I'll get with you in a little bit. All right. Thank you. Wow. There you go, folks, man. More injustice going on in Bell County. Because anybody from Killeen and Harker Heights, they all come through here. This is the main city where they all come through.
Pay some big money for that dude. Michael Elway. He's one federal piece. He's been doing this for 30 years. You know, how all these people here in the county who walk here and know how they operate and know how they slide stuff on the road. So he knows how it works. Hopefully this is the last thing I gotta do, okay? This is good, but it's kind of crooked tail out here. I'm not lying to you. I'm just being real. I'm not being serious, man. I'm not lying to you. So it don't matter. It don't matter if you're a veteran, if you're a soldier, if you're this, you're that. If you ain't, then you ain't right. And they say that out here.
Chat. FMV, how you doing? Text bud. DJ. This is in Belton, Texas. How you doing? Nice to see you again. I'm here today for court again.
Okay, what's your last name?
Perez.
First name.
Joey.
Joey, I do have you checked in, my love. Go ahead and hit this back walk. You know where to go.
Just go sit up there and wait for my lawyer.
Mr. Weiner's your attorney.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. You have a good day. She's always nice. Very nice lady. All right, so I gotta go sit over there. Hey, you got a pen or something I can?
No, I don't.
You don't? Well, if you go to YouTube and go to Bully Back Audits, just type that in on YouTube, and it'll come to my channel, and inside there, it'll give you descriptions, so you click on it, and it'll show you my email, and she can hit me up on that. Okay, or else I can give you,
I don't.
okay? But just let her know to go to the Bully Back Audits, so she can go meet me on the YouTube, okay?
When you get done,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over there to the jail. I'm gonna have this conversation with this fucking lieutenant.
You ought to record it.
Because that's bullshit.
Yeah, make sure you
That's the
record it.
second time they detained me down there recording. Second time.
Pepperoni Audits, how you doing, man? Roadrunner, good to see you. I appreciate y'all joining the room. So for those that just came in, Falmouth veteran got here before I did, and they tried to, well, they didn't try, they did. They stopped them from recording. And when I came through, they had no problem letting me through. So it's kind of interesting how that worked out. I am here today on a interference charge that they still have for me and Falmouth were filming the police, and they're saying that we were interfering. So we're still trying to fight for that. Yeah, I know.
You had a conversation with Carlos Davis already about that.
Mm-hmm.
So then why are they giving me issues?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go down to jail and I'm gonna go talk to that lieutenant. 'Cause that's BS. basket, walk through.
I wonder why they let me through and
And
then
that's
let
when I
you
was on
through.
the phone, and then you walked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're gonna give you shit about it, and then
Nothing.
say not a damn thing to you.
Interesting.
This fucking county is stupid.
Well, like you heard that lady saying, obviously there's a lot of people who are upset with this city and the way they run it and the way it operates.
Yeah, because they're crooked.
Mm-hmm.
They're crooked as fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And not to mention they're backed up 2 years because of COVID, and then they're talking about shutting the court down again for this next month for
Oh,
1
really?
month.
Really?
That makes no sense. Why are you gonna shut it down just for 1 month? I think it's just so they can retrain or train and get their act together because they're getting swamped with these online videos of their officers screwing up.
Makes a lot of sense. Who knows, man? Hopefully we'll get justice. And
I don't understand how we're the enemy with the camera when they're the ones violating people's civil liberties, and they're the ones that swore the oath. Fucking shame.
no.
But bootlickers will be bootlickers.
Utah's in the house. How you doing? How you doing, Mark?
Before y'all showed up, there was an ambulance that rolled up here,
Oh, really?
and they had somebody going in an ambulance, but that was earlier. I got here around 12:30, dude. I ate my lunch in the parking lot. I did, man. I went to that little taqueria and I got me some quesadillas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro, it was good.
Were they good?
Yeah.
All
You
right.
know the little taqueria down here on Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm on the walk. No, I'm gonna stand by. I'm gonna stand by with you. When we're done, dude, I'm going walking over to that jail and I'm speaking to that dude. Whether he wants to speak with me or not, we're gonna have a conversation about me being stopped twice.
Yeah, it's the second time.
Yeah,
Second
from
time.
the same damn officer. Espinal, whatever his name is, same damn officer. Like he didn't learn the first time.
I guess he got it in for you or something.
Come get it then. Come get it. Take that badge off. Come get it. Shit.
Who's Wolverine? Who's Wolverine? Keep saying he's in a coma.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to find his tag name. Give it a chance, I don't see it.
This is the fun part right here.
Oh, they might be talking about the guy that's been doing live streams in his bedroom every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he got arrested and he's been doing just live streams in his bedroom every day to keep, his people informed and stuff. I think that's who they're talking about.
Oh.
I'll actually go onto his channel and make sure that's the guy. Is that who they're talking about?
Maybe.
Yeah.
The last time, that's why I was asking, because he was supposed to.
I'm so glad I got to meet you, Connie.
I'm still waiting.
I am so glad.
My,
Yeah, this is the guy we're talking about right here.
Oh, okay.
I guess he got arrested. He's been doing live stuff. Not sure. Is he here in Texas?
I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever heard of him.
Yeah.
Yes. Right here, and I'll see what I can do, and I'm not, and what I'm saying is, they're probably the worst in the entire building with records, so that's probably why they lost all those records.
It's not that they lost it.
Yes.
Good thing is they're doing anything stupid before we bring it.
That's what I was trying to learn.
Right.
They intentionally made it look like there's only 7 resets, and that's not true. That being 24 times, and now this is 25.
Right, I'm gonna check and see what they have, and I'm sure you're right, I'm just saying, this is the worst office in the entire county with records. This is the office.
And see, now, all I want is that my, you know, I gotta make sure that, don't nobody, I gotta make sure that you might already know. And I just say a lot that
You're welcome.
I just told them what to ask for.
Yeah, they say he's from Texas.
Oh, is he? I didn't think so. I've never heard of him either.
So you got a court case?
Yes, I do for filming the police during a traffic stop. Yeah.
Which is not illegal,
It's not,
but they want to run you through the
and
ring.
you went to jail
Oh yeah.
You know what it is?
because you were filming.
Yeah.
The people bowing down to him. And I'm not no one's dog. You know what I mean?
And see, and the thing about this is that to this day, I still haven't seen the actual tape from Walmart because when I went to trial without even being able to get all of the evidence because they refused to allow me access to it because they were, no, I'm serious. Walmart recorded the whole incident and they had the tape because they gave it to another lawyer who wasn't even my lawyer for that particular case, which they gave it to the public. So if you give it to the public, then you should definitely give it to me. You see what I'm saying? Listen, exactly. This is what I'm telling you. This is what they did.
That doesn't surprise
You
me.
know, and that was in Killeen. So, okay, so when I went to trial without, and to this day, I still haven't seen it. And it's been 3 years. July made 3 years. And you know what? All of these attorneys take oaths and stuff. They, you know, they file it,
They don't care about that oath.
but they need to go to jail. They need to go to jail too.
Malpractice. Yeah.
They need to go to jail. You know? And I'm not gonna do it. I'm serious. I am not going to sit up there and allow anybody to railroad me again. It's not gonna happen. You know? I went to court, went back there for indigent hearing, and the judge didn't even acknowledge they were sitting through it so much down there in Killeen, right? Okay, then I requested my files. I requested the whole record. All of them's not there, okay? And then they wouldn't give me the audio because the audio proves everything that I've said.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta hide that, right?
You know, it proves everything, but they won't give it to me.
Of course not.
So they had the judge, who his name is just a minute. The white guy, Judge Kimball down there. I recused him. I wrote the recusal in his face, and I recused him. And then I went to Williamson County, because that's where the presiding judge is, Judge Billy Ray Stubblefield, the Honorable Billy Ray Stubblefield, okay? And then he ended up going ahead and recusing himself, and so they had to put it up there. Because you're not supposed to say with this judge. I'm recusing him too. I've asked him twice already, on the record and off the record, to recuse himself before me having to actually do it. You see what I'm saying? And so he refuses. So I have to technically do it like I did Kimball.
Right.
And send it to the judges, file it with the court first, and then go and file it, you know, there. But yeah,
That's ridiculous.
it is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Now,
What happened to innocent until proven guilty?
you know, let me tell you something. I look at it like this. I have some college. I did nursing and everything, you know, but I had a lot of experience with family members and myself, you know, due to my sister, okay? But if you do it to somebody like me, I mean, and all I do is, matter of fact, Parents, I'm gonna tell y'all, teach your children, and that they learn what their constitutional rights are. My teacher, I thought she was prejudiced, okay? Her name was Mary Ellen Kirsch. I thought she was prejudiced.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only black in her class. She was my sixth grade teacher. She was the only black, and I thought she was just picking on me. There were no other Hispanics. I was the only black, and everybody else was white. Well, she was hard on me. I hated her, but I never let her know because I didn't want to have to deal with Wanda, because Wanda's my mom. So I didn't want to have to deal with her, you know. So I don't go to school. You don't go to school to misbehave. You go to school to learn.
Yeah.
And this lady was so hard on me. And the thing about it is that with her being as hard as she was, I thank God for her. Right now, I thank God for my social studies teacher, my history teacher. I thank God for her. And I'm going to share with you because she wrote a commendation concerning me.
That's awesome.
Okay? She's also was for women's rights. She became the first mayor of Georgetown
Oh, really?
in Williamson County.
Really?
The first female ever. Okay? And I stay in touch with her. She knows about this case as well. Okay? And she tells me to keep her informed, you know, as well. She moved to Houston now, but I still stay in touch with her. And I want to share with you what she said concerning me. Okay? I'm sorry it's taking so long.
No, you good. I like your story.
Hey, Brenda. Here is something I got them to print out, and it's more than 7.
That's all 24, huh?
No, it's not all 24, because they told me that you were also in County Court at Law number 3 for a bit. That's a different coordinator, so I'm gonna get that printout for you the next time, but this is more than 7.
Exactly, and I paid only for 7 the last
I know.
time. And I kept I'm telling you,
So,
they're
anyway.
just sending me around and
No,
around and
we
around.
got you a jury setting, we got you the first jury trial after January 3rd is the earliest they're gonna have jury trials. So I got you the earliest jury setting,
Okay,
okay? And then those are for County Court at Law number 2. I'm gonna get you a printout when I can, sometime next week, this week or next week, for County Court at Law number 3.
okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the, everything printed out, like I shared with you.
Okay.
About everything that has
Yeah.
transpired and stuff. Who I've contacted, who I tried to resolve all this,
efforts,
all the efforts, you know.
Okay.
So
All right, I got a rundown, so I
Okay.
got it just started at 1:30, I'm running late.
definitely this I'm gonna share with you.
But that's more than 7, and then I'll get the rest of them from that other court. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
It says memo from Mary Ellen Kirsch, so you'll see that I'm reading from this. To whom it may concern, the purpose of this memo is to provide testimony reference Brenda McDonald, who was my student in 8th grade, I said 6th grade, but I meant 8th grade. Social studies. I taught American history up to post-Civil War. The founding documents, including the U.S. Constitution, were included in my curriculum. The Bill of Rights and the guarantees provided therein were studied in depth, something that generally captured the student's interest. Additionally, our studies included the lessons of history with focus on the impact on the student's life as well as their responsibilities to our natural heritage, to their community, and themselves. I taught history without blinders. The past of this country includes some embarrassing values which, while they may have been unquestioned at the time, certainly led to challenges to the fabric of our society as time lapsed. Brenda has told me that she hated me. I held high standards for my students and was loath to let them float, especially for those students who would face extra challenges due to race, gender, family backgrounds, etc. I was mindful of the necessity that they develop good work habits and a positive image of what they could achieve. I am so proud of Brenda. for many years now, I have received periodic check-ins from her. She's told me that she's grateful that I wouldn't cut her any slack. Mind you, I was never harsh with her, but I kept on her to do right by herself. She says it made a difference in her life. One of the greatest rewards of teaching is to know that your students has benefited from her time in your tutelage. Just so you know, Mary Ellen Kirsch.
It's very nice of her. Hell yeah, man. It's nice.
You know,
And you've had that
She,
that long?
I've had it since I've been having this case go on. 3 years, almost 3 years. She wrote that for me.
and she really you made an impression on her, or the other way around.
Well, not only that, at school, I mean, you know, she'll tell you that I never did anything wrong, even though I felt that way in my mind, but I didn't understand until now that I've gotten older. She was hard on me so that I would learn, and she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, you know? I didn't know that God would have me in the position that He has me in right now, you know, to where I stand up. I go for the underdogs, people that don't know their rights or anything like that. I don't go around just doing it. It just so happens that it just falls in my lap, you know. People
Well, it's a
that-
time for need for it, I think, right now, because
is.
with all of our violations
It is.
happening.
It is. It is. And you know, and the thing about it is, it's going to take us to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's not a black thing. It's not a Mexican, Hispanic thing. It's not a white thing. They do it to everybody. They do it to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
They're more predominantly.
But it's
hit
predominantly-
the status, the lower status areas.
You-
Because they're not doing that to their neighbors.
You know what? Exactly. Because that's what I was getting ready to tell you. I have 30 minutes on here of tape against the Parker Heights Police Department.
I investigate that.
Hmm?
And claim.
That's what you're doing?
I go down there quite often. to
Well,
report.
let me tell you. My daughter, in December, I have it here, my daughter and I, we were leaving Killeen because a friend of mine had given us some chairs. So we were leaving about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I live in Gerald, so I was going the back way, you know, Knight's Way. And you know how you turn right there by the high school? I missed it. Me and my daughter were talking, so I missed it. So I go on down, so I said, I gotta go to the next intersection and then turn around to be able to come back, right? Well, I could see, from here, you see those trees over there? The tree in the back? That's about how far I could see down the road. And there was a police officer sitting in the roadway. He was sitting at the light. And it's a T intersection like this, okay? At a flashing red light. What are you to do at a flashing red light? You stop, you look, see if there's any traffic, and then you proceed, right? No, he sat there in the middle of the street, waiting for me because we were the only car on the entire road at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Target.
He waited for us, okay? So we come, and we turn, there's a little store at that intersection. There's a little store, and it was closed. So we turned around, so I'm passing directly by him. So he looks at me in my face. He sees, you know, who I am. And so then I pull in the store. He's still sitting there. He hasn't left yet. There's no cars coming. He hasn't left yet. I told my daughter then, I said, you know what? He's gonna follow us. I said,
Now
he's
listen,
waiting.
hey, you hold this?
Yeah, I got
Get
you,
the story. I appreciate it.
I got you, brother.
I said, he's waiting for us. And he's gonna pull us over. And so to prove a point that I sit there, right there, and I told my daughter, watch, I'm gonna turn at the next street. So I got in the center lane. Guess what the police officer did?
Got in the center.
Got in the center lane. The next street was Acock Boulevard, was the next street. So unbeknownst to me that it was a dead end. I didn't know, I was just turning at the next street. I saw a street sign, so I turned, right?
Right.
Well, it was a dead end. So I ended up turning around and the police officer comes and then I hold my phone out and I tell him, please don't harass me. I've already turned it on, you know. What did I do that for? Because then he turned the lights on me. So I have 30 minutes worth of tape where he harassed us. Okay, I let him know that I come from a family of law enforcement. Okay, I let him know, look, you're not talking to somebody that don't know any better. So he said that it was suspicious behavior, and all this. So
Typical.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have
If you want to share that footage, I have no problem exposing these guys. I work at Harker Heights and Colleen area quite a bit.
The only thing on this, I would have to, the speaker on this phone doesn't work.
You could OneDrive it to me, or you could
Okay.
email it. Any type of,
Okay,
So
I will do that. I will do that. Because, we have to stand up. We have to stand up for what's right.
yeah, but if we the people don't stand together, we're gonna get trampled on by the system that works for itself. It's all about money. That's all it's ever been about. Here you go. I'm gonna pass this back to Bully.
But, you did give my sister your information?
I told her to go to YouTube, but I can, if you want me to write it down for you, I can real quick. Yeah, give me my email. Oh, you have it? Yeah, the information is Joey Smiles 435 at gmail.com. And not the, is it Smiles with the S, right? Yeah, yeah, you're good.
I was in
Gmail.com. And my YouTube channel is Bully
You would know, my grandparents,
Back
you would know.
Audits.
I was not raised,
Bully back.
Yes,
I do.
audits.
And that's just what I
AUDITS.
say. I
You
was
have a
gonna
Facebook
want
page.
that.
No, I don't have a
Joey Smiles 435 at gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am.
I really, when I tell you, you just don't
Yeah,
know.
I got stories too.
Do you?
He's asking me who the lawyer is. I don't even have a lawyer yet. I'm waiting for a call. Well, what's his name? Where's he from? I don't think he can ask those questions of me.
I love her, but she.
Last time I was here, we were not on record, and this was for Mr. Benjamin Martinez to withdraw as a bunch of our lawyers. And I had come and I had asked for court records on my cases. I've got 2 pending cases for animal cruelty, and I have not been able to get any of the medical records at any time for my dogs. And so I went to the clerk and I said, I'd like all my records for both cases, please. And she replies with, the judge says you can't have the medical records. And I said, why not? She says,
When you have those bad
are you going to see the judge today? And I said, yes. She said, you'll have to ask him. And I asked him in court on the 20th, how do I get the medical records? And he says, Ms. Long, I can't give you legal advice. And I have tried in the past to get these records both as acting as my own lawyer pro se, through various court-appointed lawyers, which by the way only work for Bell County. They're not actually working for the defendant. I have had lawyers that I have paid for ask for the information and not be given it. And this is information that would help prove my case, I'm sure. And they have continuously refused to provide it under the rules of discovery.
How long has this case been going on?
The first case, the original first case started in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Okay, in 2018, on Valentine's Day 2018, when I was in court for the 2016 thing,
Oh, really?
for the 2016 thing, they split the 2 cases with the puppy sale into 2 separate cases. So, oh, and by the way, they changed the search warrant. They served me a search warrant. I had it in my hand on the dates on the original search warrant. They crossed out the date and put in a new date. It's not initialed by a judge or anyone else. I called them out on it at the JP's court for the civil hearing. And they were like, oh, hold on a minute. And they pulled out another search warrant
No.
with the change made. And they said, have you not seen a copy of this one before? And I said, no, I haven't. And the judge will not address it. The lawyers will not address it. I had a jury trial on the other part and was found guilty. My lawyer did not bring up the changed search warrant in court. Therefore, I could not appeal that in appellate court. So, that's I don't know, malpractice on the part of the court-appointed lawyer. And I had told him, and I asked him in court, why did you not do this? And, you're told, well, just
Well, man, I wish you good luck on that, man. But it seems like you're kind of stuck in the same situation I am with kangaroo court. It takes them a long time. This is my second time being here. They canceled it on the last one. So, I mean, it's just a process that takes a while around here. There's no quick trial, nothing like no quick jury around here.
Well, quick trial, quick jury is one thing. Changing the search warrant dates, there's no initials. When I did my, there was a notice of appeal that I had to file. And when I gave it to the clerk down at Colleen, I told her, I said, oh, look, there's a couple of typos, I want to change them, just pen and ink them. And she says, you have to initial every place you make a change so that we know who changed it. Okay, I have to initial. A judge changing the dates on a search warrant doesn't have to initial.
What do they do? Come to your house, raid your home or something like that? Try to look for animals or what?
They went to, I had a place out in the country, and they went out there, they left a copy of the search warrant on my fence at my home in Killeen. They put a copy of the search warrant in an envelope with no stamp, no franking, in my official USPS mailbox. That is a federal offense, putting something in a mailbox, mail in a mailbox with no franking. Federal offense, but nobody will follow up on that one. They left a copy out where, at the property where the dogs were. None of these had the new date on it, and I had a copy of the warrant in hand on the date for the first date. And apparently they did not get out there and execute the search warrant, so somebody just crossed through and changed the date.
Oh.
And nobody will address it. The judge at my trial, he kind of sideways, I don't want to hear any more about this typo. Hee hee ha ha. So, oh, and by the way, this judge sent me to jail for 30 days. I have lived in the area for over 60 years. I have, worst thing, a speeding ticket and one failure to yield ticket. And my lawyer, when the jury found me guilty on the first trial, said, Your Honor, may she have a couple of days to, notify her work, where I've worked for over 30 years, no problems, to have time to get her affairs in order. And he said, no, jail, now, go. Okay? This has been a real education, because then I was on probation, and I had put down on all my paperwork for the probation people that I worked. I've been at the same job for 30 years. I work. And I get a call from the probation people screaming and hollering, where are you? Where are you at 10 o'clock one morning? Where are you? And I said, I'm at work. I said I'd be on all my paperwork. We came to your house and we knocked and knocked and knocked on your door and nobody answered. I said, I'm at work. So.
Oh man, these guys are crooked.
Right down the line, they have abused their authority. They have not held to their own laws and rules. And like I said, now the judge, I'm supposed to get my own lawyer. I'm supposed to have him by today. What the judge was asking me, he wanted to know the name of my lawyer, where this lawyer was from. I don't believe that that's something that he should be able to ask me. He's not yet my lawyer. I don't know if he will be my lawyer. It's
Are these misdemeanor cases or felony cases?
misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor. And the last one you were convicted of, was that a misdemeanor as well?
Yes. Yes. And since the search warrant wasn't valid, the charge wasn't valid. But what they do is they run you. It's like being a sheep led to slaughter. And they run you through the chute, and each time they run you a little bit further down the chute, they slam the door behind you. And then they push you a little bit further, and then they slam the door behind you. And no matter how dirty they were, no matter how wrong, no matter how much they abused power, you cannot seem to get that erased ever. Oh, also, being a fine, standing citizen, never been in trouble. I was really amazed when you're on probation, you have to pay money.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was like $25 or $30 just to, cover records expenses. No, they wanted $800 for my first payment, and then 400 and something, over $450, I believe, for like the next 2 to 4 years.
Every month.
Yes, every month. Okay, so basically, it's a racket.
Mm-hmm.
It's a racket. And they had already sucked to almost $10,000 out of my pocket because if you have animals and they accuse you of animal cruelty, and you want to appeal and try to keep your animals alive, then you have to pay a bond, an appeals bond. And mine was over $9,000. And of course, you never get to keep the appeals bond because they're running the show. And then they never give it back. And they killed my dogs.
Oh, they put them down.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't give them a chance.
How many did you have?
The last count that I believe I had on these were 15.
15 dogs. Oh wow. Were you living on country or something or what?
I have a place in the country, yes. And there's no limit to the amount of dogs you can have. In the city of Killeen, there's no limit to the amount of dogs you can have.
And people just drop them off in the country and you bring them in or what? Like
No, it wasn't so much people dropping them off and bringing them in. I picked up dogs, the dogs that they killed, most of the females had already been spayed. They all had their shots. I had spent lots of money on veterinary care. They came out and they said, the dogs have no food. Well, there's all kinds of dog food cans and empty dog food bags around. The dogs had no food when we were there. They claimed the dogs had no water. The dogs had no shelter. I had tough and rugged dog houses that cost $300 a piece, full retail, that come from up north. And they called those, the dogs had no shelter. There were children's playhouses in the dog pens. So, they're calling my top of the line dog houses children's playhouses. The search warrant said that they could look for dog skulls. They came up with 3 goat skulls. And these are skulls that definitely show the horn bone on the goat's head.
right.
But these experts, they pull goat skulls.
Well, how the goats die out there? They just been out there for a long time or what?
If you have animals, sooner or later they're
They're
gonna
gonna
die.
die. Yeah,
You're
this
gonna
country.
die
Yeah,
one of these
right,
days.
right. Country
Okay,
living.
Does that
Yeah,
mean you've been cruelly treated?
right, right,
If your grandpa dies,
right.
and I've seen them actually do this with people. Grandpa dies, and they come after them claiming abuse of elderly.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
Grandpa
That's
was
true.
95 years old and
That's true.
smoked all of his life and had drank from the time he was 8 years old.
Mm,
And on top of that, he had lung cancer.
mm,
But no, Grandpa dies, you're responsible.
yeah,
So,
that's true. They're just looking for that dollar, man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear your story. I hope things get better for you.
That's what I'm here for. Resisting arrest. And so, but this is the catch. But on top of that, what they did was they
Well, I don't know when my lawyer's gonna show up.
Huh?
I said I don't know how long it's gonna take my lawyer to show up.
all go down
They
to
calling him?
a tow truck.
You can pull his number up for me.
Well, the same tow truck.
They called him or you had to call him?
He said wait for him.
Well, it's been over a year.
That's so I can get him on the phone
About a
though.
year and they're almost 2 now. They went and stole the lady's truck. And then down the street. Because I saw them, coming out of her yard. So I went and I knocked on the door. I said, ma'am, they got your car, they got your car. She says, no, they didn't got my car. This is my car. I said, well, I saw her, like that. She said, I said, a gray car and the tow truck people. And so she was like, no, this is my car, and it's paid for. I got the title to it and everything. So I knew that already, right? A couple of nights later, my husband and I was out looking for a home and stuff, so we saw this flashing thing. I thought it was the city that was there to report and to repair the water that was coming up from the ground, but it wasn't. It was the tow truck, the same guy that had towed my truck, that had towed my car, right? He had her truck that I knew for a fact that was paid for and she had the title to it, right? So I told my husband, I said, Daddy, hurry up, get out, get out, get out. I gotta get out of the truck. So I went down to my neighbor's house, bang, I pulled up in her driveway, and I banged on her door, okay? When I banged on her door, and I said, look, I said, they got your truck, they got your truck. She came out, she said, what, who is it? I said, this is Bree, your neighbor down the street. So she came out, she says, what? I said, call the police, you know? I said, but they stole your truck, they got your truck. So I'm telling her, she's called the police, and then, yes, he comes down the street with a truck. I think he heard me when I told my husband, so then he rechecked or something, I guess, maybe. But when and dropped her truck in the middle of the street.
What a dick.
And he dropped her truck in the middle of the street. So I got the license plate from him, and then I chased him, and then the police had him to come back to the city. You see what I'm saying? To come back to the city. And so the thing would not allow her to file charges. But if I can steal your car out of the driveway,
Grand Theft Auto.
and they knew it because when they got there, it was still in the street. Because I told her, don't move it, leave it there so the police will see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Not messing with anything.
Yeah. But the thing is that, but they wouldn't allow her to press charges on me because they knew that they already had a case for me.
What'd they tell you?
He told me to wait for my lawyer. I ain't seen him walk through here once, I don't think, though.
So can you be punished for your lawyer being paid?
I don't know.
I mean,
I wish, you know what, Miss Long, Regina, I wish they had been around that day when we all were here. When
Yeah.
we did that motion to withdraw. I wish they had been here.
But they wouldn't, you know, what's really bad is that they don't allow recording in the
In
courtroom.
the court.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's true.
that should be recorded, not just by the court reporter. You should be able to have a videographer of your own choosing there.
Because they lie about what happens in the courtroom. Because when I did my motion, I'm the only one that day, which I ended up the last person, he made me the last person. And when I went back in there and I said to him, I said, Your Honor, I ask that you recuse yourself. You know? And he said, well, ma'am, I'm trying to get you so that you can get another attorney and that you'll have an attorney and all you have to do is sign this paper. I said, no, not unless it's on the record. Because I want what I have to say for my rights being violated, I want it on the record.
Are they on the record today?
No, they're not on the record. That's not my attorney did everything. They said, he told me that the next hearing, it's going to be on the record.
That the gal that's up there sitting next to the judge and the witness stand is not the court reporter.
Mm-mm.
he might be one of the attorneys.
No, she's
No.
the court coordinator.
Oh.
And look, he went in.
Skinny lady?
He went in,
Blonde hair?
no, it's a Hispanic lady, she looks Hispanic. But he went in and got the other ones, he said, yeah, and it's more than 7. He says, but we're gonna have to go get the rest of them, because they had sent it to another court, you know, and everything else. So, he says, but yeah, it's more than 7. I said, I know, it's 24, now this is 25. And it happened in not a year.
I gotta say to everybody that joined in on this live, I appreciate y'all supporting my channel. It's gonna be a whole minute. I'm gonna wait for my lawyer, so I may release a little bit later some static video if I get any. But I'm gonna probably be here for an hour or so, and nothing very much to go on. So I appreciate y'all for joining. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to film the police. All right, thank you.